What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's up, dude?
Man, no, what's up, me, man? I'm cold. It's winter time, bro. I don't want to hear all this what's up, all this warm and fuzzy talk. Nah. I'm good, though, man. How are you?
It is that time of year where you just want it to go to spring because once the holidays hit, it's over.
It's over.
And we didn't even have cold weather for the holidays.
Well, we had that one snow, we had snow on New Year's.
We did, yeah.
It was like a random snow.
We did,
and it just went away.
Yeah.
But now it's just like cold for no reason. It's no holiday. Still got to be outside. I got to take my kids to the bus stop and freeze. I don't want to deal with that.
It's weird. It's a depressing look to it this time of year. January, February, March, because you're occasionally going to get some sun out there.
It gives you hope.
But then there's a little bit of overcast thrown in with it, and then the trees are all barren.
Yeah.
It just looks desolate here.
And I think it would be different if it was Steelers football going on right now. I feel like because there's no playoff game we're looking forward to. Think about most of the time, if it's called this, at least you got a home playoff game coming up or some type of action. Right now, we're just waiting. Like, hey, is the Pro Bowl here yet?
I'm waiting for Ben to throw, dude. That's what I'm waiting for.
I'm waiting for the Hall of Fame. I ain't even worried about Ben right now. I got some dogs in this Hall of Fame race that I need to come through.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Personal connections to 3 of them. Well, actually, all 4. Yeah. Podcast connections to them as well. We got 2 podcast guests with Bill Cowher, Coach Bill Cowher, and Donnie Shell, the legend. Both of those are still available on YouTube and podcasts. If y'all want to check those interviews out, always got to plug it in.
Yep.
But for me, I think about my former teammate, Troy. He's in there as a finalist. And then Alan Fanek, he's a guy that I've worked with doing some nonprofit work, hosting different events with him as well. So, excuse me. So even with him, this dog in my race. You know what I mean? I want him to do well.
Yeah, I do too. All of Steeler Nation. And that video we posted to Instagram, people are on your side, dude. We're all going to join you.
We're going to be locked up together in Canton, Ohio.
If Troy doesn't get in first ballot, you're going up there. And we're going to be right there with you.
I got the card. I'm going to show you the card when we got the podcast. I promise you guys, on the truth. Lifetime membership, bro. We kicking down bus. But we not even going to put that negativity to the air because I know he's getting in. You feel me?
I think he is
we all just going to be partying in Canton with him. We don't have to kick down bus. We'll party on his behalf.
Nah.
Everybody come through with us. If you listen to the podcast, Troy gets in. Y'all want to roll? Hit us up. We rolling.
We'll get a podcast exclusive, actually.
Shout out. You know how we do.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, then.
So even with the weather being like this, life is good, and we just talked about some good things to come. So
yes, indeed, man. So there's always a sun on the horizon.
Yes.
But for all the football lovers out there, because let's be real about it, Steeler Nation.
I'm looking forward to this weekend.
I was gonna say Steeler Nation. They don't just love Steeler football. They love football. Like you want to watch football, and that's the beauty of Steeler Nation.
These are good matchups,
no question. And this week, man, we got some big time ball, man. We'll start AFC since we are in the AFC.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, starting out, you got Tennessee and Baltimore that we playing on Saturday, and then the Sunday matchup, you have Houston and Kansas City. From the AFC department, man. Yep. And if we want to talk the NFC, we could talk about them. You got San Fran, Minnesota. We playing Saturday night as well. Green Bay and Seattle on Sunday. So just I guess we'll start with this Baltimore Tennessee matchup, man. Saturday night, man. What's your thoughts on it? Well, actually, you already told me your thoughts. You said Baltimore sucks. Humble yourselves. You're one and done anyway. So this is a foregone conclusion that Tennessee is winning according to you. So we won't even need to talk about that, right?
I put myself in a hole here.
You do that a lot. It's cool.
I definitely did. Because I'm looking at this, and Tennessee is...
You better make it sound good because they got to
pretty
win.
mediocre.
No, you said they got to win. You got to make your argument. Come on now.
I'll say their defense is pretty mediocre.
And what's their offense?
Their offense is Derrick Henry. And
I'm glad you... I was like, yo... But first off...
I'm not a believer in Tannehill.
Wow.
What?
You're not a believer in Tannehill?
Come on. Why would anyone be a believer in him?
He just outdueled Brady.
Outdueled him 72 yards. Come on.
Who won the head-to-head? Who scored more points?
Come on.
He outdueled Brady, bro.
Do this. Everyone with eyes knows.
I don't know what you're talking about. He outdueled Brady, bro. What's his record versus Brady in the playoffs right now, man? He got the dub. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Stop it.
Tannehill for president.
No. He had a good run in the regular season, but...
Clearly it's carried over to the postseason.
It clearly hasn't.
What? He's 1-1 in the postseason right now. He's balling.
72 yards, a pick, and a touchdown.
Balling.
No, give me a break. Give me a break. No, he had a good run.
On the road in New England, a place that historically is tough to play, right?
It was Derrick Henry.
Man, he's the starting quarterback for the team.
It was Derrick Henry, and the Patriots' lack of offensive weapons is what I would contribute to that one.
But I thought your quarterback could make up for that, right?
Who?
Can't your quarterback make up for the lack of offensive weapons?
He did his best, dude.
Tannehill did.
We all... No. He obviously didn't.
Who won? Who scored more points? Let's go Tannehill.
Come on. Listen, I'm not a believer in him.
As you're sitting with your Red Sox hat on, man, I see where this is coming from here.
What do you mean?
I see where this is coming from. You're a Boston guy. Is that what it is?
No,
you're like a double agent.
No.
That's what it is?
No.
The whole time you're in with you never come with a Pirates hat on. What's that about?
I just like the hat. I'm not really a baseball fan.
You tell us don't sleep on Brady. Brady's not done. You come in here with a Sox hat on. You're making excuses for New England. What's going on with you, Deke?
I think there's countless Steeler fans that are on my side where they wear
Red Sox hats. I've never seen a Steeler fan wear a Red Sox hat.
That's just me being Deke.
Come on,
I don't watch baseball.
Man. I think you're a double agent, Deke.
No.
I think you're a Patriots fan in disguise, man.
Hell no.
I'm just saying, bro. That's how I feel.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I've never seen you in here with a Pirates hat on.
I don't really watch baseball, dude. This isn't about baseball. It's
a Red Sox. Out of all the baseball teams, though, that's the one hat you picked.
It's weird. I think I told you this before. I don't know why I bought this in the first, but I think it's just because it's an iconic hat. It's a classic hat.
Oh, it's a classic hat. Why is it a classic hat?
It's not anything to do with the baseball team. It matches with anything. It's weird. It's a navy blue and red, but it does. No. So I bought this.
It doesn't match black and gold?
3 years ago. No, it would. It would.
A Red Sox
I swear to God.
Would match a black and gold jersey.
I swear to God.
Bro, I don't know where you get
a Red Sox hat with a Steelers jersey and jeans. I don't know how it works. It just does. The navy blue and the red, the Boston. It's a classic.
I don't know about that one, bro.
Just like you would wear a white t-shirt, a black t-shirt and jeans. It's classic.
I don't know about that one, bro.
Stands the test of time. That's the only reason I got it.
Who taught you this?
I know. I'm just going off of what I know and what my eyes tell me.
I don't know what your eyes do. We already know your eyes have had some issues.
That's what I mean. Like you can't be saying, "Oh, I'm a fan of the Red Sox or a Boston fan." Right? This is just me being Deke.
You praise Brady a lot, and you come in here with a Red Sox hat on, Deke. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but those don't have anything to do with each other.
They seem very similar. They're both in Boston.
Nah, I actually can't stand that. I can't stand Boston. I can't stand the Red Sox. I can't.
You just praise the Red Sox hat that you got on.
The hat, yes. The hat is a fashion thing. Yes.
All right, Deke. All right. Double agent.
Come on, dude.
All right.
That's the furthest thing.
You probably like Bon Jovi a lot too, don't you?
He's got some good songs.
See, it's going downhill for you.
Living on a Prayer, iconic karaoke song.
Do you like clam chowder?
No, I'm a plain kind of guy. Peanut butter
but
sandwich,
you're a beer guy,
pizza.
Though, huh?
Yeah. Not Sam Adams though. Not Sam Adams. I don't mess with that. It's a little too thick. I need Bud Light, Miller Light, Coors Light. Iron City.
Okay. All right. That's Iron City. It should be still a game.
Still a game. Yeah. I was just about to say. But this game. So obviously I said Ravens, humble yourself, this and that. I never said they weren't a good team.
You said they're one and done though. You definitely said that.
I was thinking they were going to be playing the Patriots or Chiefs somehow.
Yeah, I don't know how you thought that, but all right.
I don't know either, but that's what I was figuring. And man, I was looking at this, and as much as I just want to say and be that forthcoming and going all out and saying Ravens and going down, this and that, I mean, they're just a better team, just flat out. The only saving grace for the Titans is Derrick Henry just balls out because Lamar Jackson over Tannehill, Ravens defense over Titans defense. I mean, the running games, I would say just in general, when you add Lamar and Ingram versus Henry are similar.
And I will say this, we still got to follow Mark Henry because I know he missed practice on Tuesday with his, I think he's dealing with a calf injury.
And I did see Lamar has a flu.
Yeah, so that could play into a position. I think Lamar plays just fine. With Mark Henry, I'm not sure his full availability.
Dude, you're botching up the name, man. You're combining them. You said Mark Henry.
I mean, you know what I mean. Mark Ingram. Yeah, Lamar Jackson is fine. He'll be fine. But Mark Ingram. Yeah. That's the one where I'm just kind of like, I don't really know, but you still saw how Gus Edwards carved our defense up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think. There's probably two ways that I guess it could be a combination of both that I see the Ravens losing this. It's coming off to a slow start. They haven't really played as a unit in 3 weeks,
which is very common after a bye week.
It's possible. Say that. It's definitely possible, and you have a lot of people hyping them up and saying, Lamar Jackson.
Well,
MVP.
not you. You're not hyping them up. You said.
No, I'm just saying they're an awesome team. Lamar Jackson MVP. So that's something that. I don't think it's necessarily hurtful to hear, but you almost would rather hear the opposite.
You would?
Yeah, because it gives you a chip on the shoulder.
Why do you need a chip on your shoulder? Be professional.
That's true, but I'm just saying, it just gives you a little bit, though, of thinking, oh, yeah, I am hot shit. Like, yeah, I can lay off a little bit. It can happen. It can happen. That's all I'm saying. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Right. I'm just saying that could play into the 3-week layoff. You're hearing a bunch of stuff and whatever, but that's about it. So you combine that with Derrick Henry having a really good game, and because the interesting thing, and this is kind of the reason why with Lamar Jackson, we saw him in the playoffs last year. He looked bad. He looked bad in the playoffs. They got down, and I mean, there was some stuff at the end, garbage time.
But their offense was nowhere near how it was this year. Last year, they weren't even letting them throw the ball. Remember that.
It is completely different this year.
And in the second half was when they started to make a comeback because they allowed them to throw the ball.
Yeah, but I don't know. I saw that more as fluky, that comeback.
I saw it more as like they're actually opening up the offense. Last year, they would not throw the ball with him at all.
So that's the thing I would find interesting just to see is if they do come back, can Lamar bring them back like that? Because the Ravens are really just overall good team. Yeah. So that would be something. Say that again? I said that. I've always said they were a good team.
You said humble yourselves. Y'all not like that. You're not like that. Y'all think you're good. All I'm saying is humble yourselves, man. Y'all going to be one and done, sit right next to us. That's a direct quote from you, dude.
I would just like to see him in the playoffs if this situation were to come up, if he could bring them back like that with his arm. And we've talked about this before. His running ability is a part of the game, is a part of winning football. So that could definitely play into it as well.
Yeah.
The Titans defense isn't that good. So I don't really see him having a problem. This is if you're ranking it out of a 0 to 100% chance of happening, this is like a 10 to 20% chance of all this stuff happening that I'm talking about. This is more of me just trying to see the other side, but
it's all good, man. Because I'm over here like, we talk about Derrick Henry having to go crazy, right? Derrick Henry went crazy versus the Patriots. Think about it. He went crazy. He did, but what was the score? Think about before that pick six with 6 seconds left in the game or whatever, it was still a chance for the Patriots.
I still thought the Patriots were going to win.
So think about how bad the Patriots offense looked, right? Not Brady, but just overall the offense looked bad, right? Whoa. We agree with that, right?
Yeah.
The offense looked bad.
Yes.
Brady's a part of the offense. But either way, the offense looked bad. And for them to play that bad and the defense to have had one of their worst games of the year and they still had a chance to win, we can all bank on the Ravens offense looking a lot better than that Patriots offense looked. Even if the defense stay the same, even if the defense plays just as bad as the Patriots did in terms of stopping the run, that offense for Baltimore is going to be able to put up more points than 13. So,
yes, I think we're on the same page.
And their field goal kicking is money. Whereas with the Patriots, I love them.
I cannot stand him. Like, give me a break with that. I want to get back to that. No, give me a break with that little dance. You slipped and you kicked the field goal against us.
Don't hate on him. He's good.
We're a dinged up team. Why can't week 17 and you're doing a little dance. So my question is this. You will respect Brady for his greatness, but you won't respect Tucker for his greatness? Brady isn't cocky like that. Brady's humble, dude.
Brady don't talk trash.
On the field, like within the flow.
So what are you talking about then?
Yeah, but dude.
So it's okay for a guy who's out there at 90% of the snaps to talk trash, but the guy who's out there for 6 critical snaps, he can't do a dance when he hits a game-winning field goal or he hits a big field goal?
It's how he does it. It's not cool. It's
Why?
Not cool. It looks corny.
Why?
No. Dude.
Describe the corniness.
You're the kicker, man, and you're yelling
and
big
he's
trucks.
One of the best kickers in the league.
He doesn't have swag. He just doesn't have swag about it. He doesn't.
What?
He doesn't.
Do you need swag when you get hit from 60? That's what I want to know. You could be the swaggiest guy missing from 40, but you don't have to have swag there from 60, baby.
Where was that swag when he missed that little extra point last year against the Saints?
You look at his body of work. You tell me how many he's made and how many he's missed.
I'm with you. The thing.
So what we talking about?
No. You know this about kickers though. Mm-hmm. You could even say this about football in general.
Okay.
I relate kicking to golf. Golf is a very humbling game. You have it one day, and then all of a sudden you're in your head, and you never know.
Okay.
That's all. That's the thing with the kickers.
So you would want a guy that if you just said it's all in your head, right? And if you don't stay on your game, if you're not mentally right, you could play really bad, right? You just said that in golf, right?
Yeah.
So if you at 1 second in golf, you're feeling insecure, you're feeling like, dang, maybe I'm not that good. It can throw your whole day off, right? But if you go out there every day like, yo, I know I'm the man. You can be money, right?
Have some pep in your step.
So what is he doing then? He's going to every kick like, yo, I know I'm nice, there's nothing you can do about it.
Have some pep in your step, but
that's what that's what he just did.
I don't want to see the dance, and I don't want to hear you yelling.
It sounds like you're just upset because we don't have that weapon. I love Boz. No. We listen. Boz, my guy, and we would pick on him the year that he won and made Pro Bowl over Tucker. We would give him crap all the time because we're like, yo, you barely make it from 52. That man, he warm up from 60. like he gets to the logo in his buckets. We would get on Boz all the time like, yo, Boz, you nice, but you can't hit from 50. So if you don't, I promise you, we wouldn't celebrate any kick that Boz made if it wasn't over 50 because we would give him crap about like, yo, you can't hit from 50, so it doesn't matter.
Wow.
So when he would hit one from 50, we was like, oh, that don't count. It was just 50. He's got to be at least 51. You got to break the barrier, which is why when he hit it versus Green Bay, we carried him on the field because like, oh man, Boz hit from 52. Oh my God. Yeah.
Tucker annoys me, dude. I've had enough. You're
just a hater, bro. Be a hater. It's cool.
I am. I definitely
It's
am.
cool.
I definitely
I'm just glad that you
He's
can
good.
admit it.
He's good as hell.
I just like the fact that you can admit it, bro. As long as you admit the hater, I don't care. Just admit it. It's cool. We're good now.
Yeah, I am.
We're good.
He's annoying.
All right, we're good then.
I've had enough.
I wish a lot of people wish they were on his team. That's
I'm not wishing any bad like ill will towards him.
No. I understand. Not like hater in the sense of I want him hurt. Just like
I don't wish that for anyone.
I don't like his style because
he's annoying, dude.
He's annoying and he's good. It's cool.
Yeah, but anyway, with this game, with everything being said, do you have any more like you want to in terms of the breakdown?
No, and I'll say this too, in terms of the different defenses between Baltimore and the Patriots. I know the Patriots had the higher ranking defense, right? Everybody talked very highly of them. But the feeling that I got from them about midway through the season was you saw they feasted on some of the inferior competition early on in the season, which helped their numbers get really gaudy. As their competition got stiffer, that defense started to take a step back and look a little more regular. Whereas Baltimore's defense, they continue to get better as the season went along.
Definitely.
And for me, that's why I'm a lot more confidence, and I have a lot more confidence in how Baltimore, from a defensive standpoint, can minimize Derrick Henry, can minimize Ryan Tannehill even more because of how they're playing versus how the Patriots were playing early on.
Yeah, on the road. How are the Titans going to get it done?
But, well, I mean, according to Vrabel, he said, he took a shot at his Titans fan base too. He was like, every game we feel like we're underdogs because you only get 20,000 people to show up for a home game. I was like, God, dog, just take a shot at your own, at the Titan fans. There you go, tighten up, baby.
Hey, he's the kind of guy. It seems like he just tells it like it is.
Yeah.
So, hey, Titans just be better then. Be better fans.
Be better fans. Period.
With all that being said,
so we both got Baltimore winning that game then.
Titans pull it out.
Okay, all right, there we go.
I gotta stick with it.
You do.
I have to.
I love it
because
you always put yourself in a box.
Everything in me.
Yeah,
you've heard me. I'm just gonna say the 10 to 20% happens somehow.
Right, I like
somehow, some way.
Hey, it doesn't matter how you get it done. Just get it done. So I have Baltimore. You got the Titans. Should we make a bet on this game?
I don't know because we still have a lot of debts to pay up. That kind of like went to the wayside.
No, it didn't because we got a dinner coming up that you're going to be paying for.
No, I know that, but in terms of us making bets every week, which I think is a good idea. I feel like if more or less we do every once, I don't know, a few months or something like that, where it's more of a specialty thing as opposed to like every week.
So you don't like this matchup, though, is what you're telling me?
I'm not betting on that.
All right, fair enough, man. Fair enough. I ain't tripping.
I'm not betting on that.
I just wanted to try to see if I could get you on the easy one. Get a layup, bro.
I already put myself in a box, but actually with doing this, I put myself in a win-win situation where I hedged everything by saying I'm feeling Ravens, like there's no way Titans are going to win, but I picked Titans. So next week or next podcast, I can say, listen, I told you this was going to happen anyway, even though I picked this.
You know why? You know why it's not going to work? Because I'm going to go back to your original statement when you called the Ravens trash and they need to humble themselves.
I never said trash. I never said trash. I said just humble yourself and let's wait and see.
Either way, I'm not tripping, man. I got Baltimore, you got Tennessee. All right, so the second Saturday game, we got Vikings and 49ers. How you feeling about that one? And the game's in San Fran.
So my opinion switched. Vikings played on Sunday, right, against the Saints. So my opinion switched on Sunday, actually. I was leaning one way, and then it instantly flipped. All I had to see was the Vikings locker room, Kirk Cousins ranting and saying, how about that? And
no, you like that. Get it right, man. Yeah. Get it right. You like that? You like that? And it's Captain Kirk, baby.
The whole Vikings locker room acting like they won the Super Bowl.
Jeez, I mean, no one gave him a chance, including you.
I initially thought after that Saints game.
The chip on their shoulder, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. After that Saints game, that, Vikings might be hitting their stride at the right time. They might be able to make some noise.
Kirk got the it factor.
I'm not completely there yet, but
he called it seems like in overtime.
He's leaning that way. He's leaning like he's flipping the switch.
Game.
I need to see more. If you have so many anti-it factor moments,
what
before this, like
it's only on Monday Night Football. As long as the game isn't on Monday, he's nice.
He hasn't been nice in the playoffs though. For
how
Redskins.
many playoffs? You just said with the Redskins, bro. Stop it.
Hey,
first off, how many times did he go with the Redskins?
It was either once or twice.
It was once.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't good. So, and then his Monday night games are bad, and they missed the playoffs last year, and he was the reason why.
Okay.
They were much better.
He's the reason why they made it this year. Him along with Dalvin Cook.
I don't know about that.
And the defense. Adam Thielen's balling out, but who's throwing it to him?
He's had a very good year. Anyway, I'm just saying I need to see more. So yeah, if he goes on a Joe Flacco-ish run here, then yeah, I'll say it factor for him.
A Kirk Cousins run.
But that's a good comparison. That's a pretty good comparison.
Don't disrespect Kirk like that.
Kirk is better than Joe in regular season, yes. But there is still that thing of, can he really get it done? And he finally flipped the switch that one play. It was like 2011 or 12. What about
the rest of them, though?
Who?
What about the rest of them?
What do you mean?
For Joe.
It's been bad for him. He's not that good. He's not that good. I'm saying this is just the level up from that.
Okay.
Anyway, I was saying Vikings might hit their stride. This might be it. But no, they were going for the sprint. And this wild card game was essentially their Super Bowl, and they got too ahead of themselves, and they're not striding. They're not hitting a nice jog or whatever you want to say. They hit the sprint, and they hit the end right here, wild card. They're done. Their Super Bowl was, hey, can we prove Kirk Cousins can have the it factor, win the big game? All right, you prove that, you're done now. You're going to San Fran. They got their eyes set on bigger things. Jimmy G, what?
You sure about that?
Yeah, they're rested up. Jimmy G, he wins big games. He's done it this year. He has. So,
all right.
The Jimmy Vikings, I thought Vikings were going to be hitting their stride. Now, all of a sudden, 49ers are locked in. So, that's all I needed to see was the locker room.
Oh.
That's it. Okay. And if you
so you haven't seen the Niners locker room this week at all, huh?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
What do you mean?
I'm just checking, man.
What are they showing stuff in the locker room?
Hey, man, I'm just.
What are they doing?
You said you saw the Vikings locker room after a big wild card win when it's in overtime, in just epic fashion, and they're celebrating. And you're saying that it's because that was their sprint, that was a Super Bowl, not that oh my God, this was a crazy game that they just won in an epic fashion. But all right, I'm with you, bro.
Act like you've been there before. But they
90% of the teams in the NFL would celebrate like that.
I don't think we would.
We did.
No.
I'm telling you, we have.
What game?
No, Cincinnati. We did that.
That's fine. Regular season.
No, Cincinnati playoff game, the one where it was the crazy ending.
I didn't see it, though.
Oh, my gosh.
If I didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Oh, you're funny. Oh, I know for a fact we celebrate like that there. Let's see. The year after that, we beat the Dolphins in the wild card round. We celebrated like crazy.
What do you do?
In fact, we celebrated so crazy, one of our coaches ended up getting arrested. Remember that?
Yes.
Not that it was a part of the celebration. I'm just saying like that what was happening.
The leader of those teams had been there and done that before. Where?
What? I can explain even firsthand like this. We won the division my first year here. Ben comes locker room. Guys, why are y'all celebrating like that? We don't need to celebrate like this. We should be expecting this. Once we got beat in the playoffs, that next year we won the division, Ben's in there jumping around with us. Oh my God, we did it. Let's go. So please help me understand, man. You celebrate big victories, man. Because if you don't, then you're never going to get the chance to celebrate the victory. Because when it comes to Super Bowl, how many teams win the Super Bowl? How many teams have won the Super Bowl? How hard is it to win? How hard is it to get to a Super Bowl? You have to celebrate your big victories, bro. If you don't, man, you ain't living.
Ben can do what he wants. Steelers can do it. He's got 2 rings.
I just love how you just continue to change this narrative every time. Let's go.
Kirk can't.
All right, fair enough. All right,
stay humble.
Hate. All right, I like it, man. As long as you keep this hatred consistent, it's good. If you got hate in your heart, let it out.
Stay humble. Right. There's more to the journey. Right. This wasn't a sprint, but it's too late. It's just too late.
They celebrated too much for a epic win versus an elite team in epic fashion. You're right. Yeah, you can't say. You just got to walk off. Just, oh, yeah, I meant to do that. It's nothing new. It's just another game. We'll just go to the next week. I don't care. Okay. Whatever you say, buddy. Whatever you say.
Do you have any breakdowns, or is it just my narrative that's going to dictate the game?
Hey, your narrative, bro. You got it.
Is there actually any on-the-field stuff that's going to happen?
Well, I do think that Kirk Cousins and that offense presents a lot of challenges to that San Fran defense. When you look at how Dalvin Cook is able to run the ball, that presents challenges because now from a coverage standpoint, it dictates what you can and cannot do. You're going to need an extra guy in that box. That's going to be the interesting dynamic of it. Now, from the receiver standpoint, Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen, they can ball. We all have seen that. I mean, you saw even when Adam Thielen made the clutch catch in that moment to even flip the field and get them in scoring range in overtime. So if you're Richard Sherman, if you're those corners in that secondary for San Fran, which we talked about, remember that being the weaker part of their defense on top of that, that's one of the Vikings' strength. That's the part of the dynamic that makes it unique to me. I want to see how that plays out. Now, from a defensive standpoint, the Niners definitely have the better defense.
Yep.
In terms of talent, in terms of star power and stuff like that. But the Vikings, they got all pros on their defense as well. Eric Kendrick's an all pro. He can ball out with the best of them. You talk about their pass rushers up front. You saw how they impacted that Saints O-line and it was pretty much getting after Drew Brees multiple times throughout that game. So for me, I'm like, the Vikings got a legit shot. I think the biggest thing is going to come down to which Jimmy G shows up, because even though you talk about, Jimmy G's won big games this year, we all watched those games and we saw who was balling out in those games and how the defense on numerous occasions bailed him out in some of those games. I think back to the primetime game they had versus the Seahawks where him and Russell Wilson are supposedly battling. And no, it's not him and Russell Wilson. Remember, he got the ball with 4 minutes left, couldn't get a first down. Got the ball again with 2 minutes left, couldn't get a first down. The defense got the pick in the end zone. I think it was Quan Alexander got a pick, and then they came back and got another turnover, and that's how they ended up getting out of those games. It was not Jimmy G.
Yeah, so but I think of the Saints game where he goes on the road and balls out.
Okay, and we talk about George Kittle going on the road balling out specifically. Remember, that was a game he went absolutely bonkers. But then we also can draw a question to how good is the Saints defense if we've seen multiple times now them get lit up.
So you're saying Kirk doesn't have it then?
All I'm saying is if you're praising Jimmy G for that, we got to question Kirk Cousins and Jimmy G in that regard. I question both of them. Same question I have for Jimmy G, I had for Kirk last week.
I still have him for Jimmy G, but
I do as well. So for me,
this game
the way
is different.
You make it as a foregone conclusion that Jimmy G has been there, done that. He has not. That's what I'm saying. What playoff
in terms
game?
Of playoffs?
No. What playoff game has Jimmy G played in?
No, I know you're right.
So what playoff game has Jimmy G done it? He hasn't. He has
done it in big games though.
No. And a big I can tell you for a fact, a regular season game is night and day from a playoff game.
I will say this: he did sound a little excited in his press conference. You could hear it in his voice.
I'm telling you, a lot of people are excited to make it to the playoffs. You know why? Because I played with guys for 10 years that never made it to the playoffs. Guys who played 12 years in the league never sniffed the playoffs.
And I'm not saying an excitement in a good way. I'm saying like a nervous excitement. You could hear it in his voice.
It's a big deal. That's what I'm telling you. People in Pittsburgh take playoffs for granted. It's people that play 10 plus years, 12 plus years that never make the playoffs, never have a winning record. It's not easy. So when guys make it, regardless of where you are in your career, you're excited. You saw Brady, he would post on IG every week. Man, it's playoff time. The season starts now. Again, it's playoff time. Even him, a guy who has the most Super Bowl rings as a player, he's excited about it. He's a little nervous about it. It happens.
He's allowed to.
Why?
Brennan Brady, they're cool. Rodgers he's got a ring.
Stop it.
Wilson, he's good. He's got a ring.
So Nick Foles too can? Nick Foles can do it too, right? He got an MVP.
No, you got to have the full body work.
He's got an MVP. Ben don't have that.
I don't want to get into this.
All I'm saying is one has an MVP and a Super Bowl ring. One just has a Super Bowl ring. So one guy carried and one led the charge. That's all I'm saying. No, if we're gonna play that game,
come on.
You just took us down there. You talked about
you gotta have it all, man.
All I'm saying is if you want to go there, that's the argument that I'm gonna make as a rebuttal to that argument. Okay, when you wanted to say, oh, because they have rings, they can do that. I'm gonna just take it to there. Okay.
Well, rings and Hall of Fame status. Those are all
rings
Hall of Famers.
And a Super Bowl MVP status there.
Fluky.
It ain't look fluky when I watched it.
I mean, it was a good game, but like fluky in terms of his whole career, yeah.
I don't think it was fluky. I mean, he's balled out before. He did it under Chip Kelly as well.
Look at him now, man.
He's been hurt this season. What do you want? That's like we said. Look at Ben now. What the heck?
But
he had better numbers than Ben.
But he came back.
He had better numbers than Ben this year.
Come on.
All right then. So don't say that then. That's all I'm saying. If you want to play that game, we can do that. I personally don't want to do that, but we can do
Listen, I see what you're saying with Jimmy G, and I can't really argue it. It's just more like I'm betting on that as opposed to, hey, him being at home. He's done it in big games. Yeah, he's going to be a little excited. Yeah. He's got that tutelage under Brady where Brady might have passed off some of that mentality to him. So that's all.
Whatever you say, bro. Whatever you say. So who you got winning? San Fran?
I do have San Fran now. Definitely. I definitely do. It's going to be a good game. I'm excited. I'm excited for all these matchups. These are all really good games.
Absolutely, man. I agree. I think it's all going to be, a ton of matchups. When you look at the slate of it, I do think it'll be a good game. I think San Fran's the better team overall, so that's why I think they win. I don't think it's a Jimmy G versus Kirk Cousins thing, though.
No.
Because I think Jimmy G, he's going to do enough to get the job done. I was going to say, San Fran has the far better team.
We know Cousins. Jimmy G's going to get the job done, but Cousins might give the game up a little bit. So we'll see.
Jimmy G might give the game up.
He might. Yeah. His offense is a little more tailored to not do it though.
But West Coast, at the same time, we know with the Vikings offense, they have more
just take natural the top off talent.
The defense.
Yes, yeah, they definitely do.
So they could go out there and explode. You just never know.
I think that is just at the end of the day with all this, you just never know. You
don't.
You really don't.
That's why we go watch the game and enjoy it.
Exactly.
All right, so let's move to Sunday's matchup. We have the first one. Like I said, Kansas City and Houston. The game's in Kansas City. I'll go first on this since you did first on the other two.
I like it.
I think Kansas City's I think they're going to run those guys out of there, man. When you look at how Houston struggled versus a Bills offense that we know has the potential to be good, but they still are missing pieces. They still aren't as polished. This Kansas City Chiefs offense is hitting their stride. Mahomes is back. Mahomes is back. He's back. You saw when he missed time with injury, he came back, he was rusty, as you should be when you come back from injury. Now he's back to being Mahomes, the Mahomes that we thought was going to be MVP coming into the season, the Mahomes that lit everybody up last year. That's the Mahomes we're back seeing. So with that being the case, you know their offense is going to score. But the flip side this year for Kansas City is their defense. Their defense is playing crazy good. That's the part that no one talks about. Nobody speaks of Kansas City's defense. Tyrann Mathieu is balling out.
Yeah, their pass defense is pretty good.
And they can rush the passer. That's the thing I love to see. Teams that can get after the quarterback, that's what they do. And just all of that regard, when I look at Kansas City, I don't see how, barring injury, of course, how they would lose to a Houston team where when I'm looking at Houston, number one, their O-line is up and down. It's inconsistent. 7 sacks last week to the Bills. And I personally think the Chiefs have a better pass rush as a total unit than the Bills do. Then I'm looking at DeAndre Hopkins. I'm like, okay, cool. But we all see how he starts slow in some games. Like, he didn't have a catch in the first half. Then he heats up in the second half. But overall, I think if they wait that long to get him involved, it's going to be too late. Deshaun Watson, I know.
What?
Hey.
What?
Hopefully it goes like how he makes it sound in terms of I saw it was cover 0, so I checked at this and I made that play. But I know for a fact if he allows more stuff like how that happened on that particular play, he's supposed to be sacked and he gets out and he makes this elaborate, this is what happened to happen. If it goes like that, I can assure you he's going to get knocked out this game, man. Because that ain't real life. He's living in a fairy tale. And it's cool. It's cool. It was funny because I was watching SportsCenter and all these different sports shows this week, and they're talking about how is Deshaun Watson better than Patrick Mahomes because of the, in your words, it factor and how he
does have it,
and how he could just bounce out of those type of plays consistently, and he's just got the juice. I call it fact. I call it fiction. Actually, I call it a myth. I say it's smoke and mirrors. It's fairy dust. You can't consistently rely on that.
He definitely does have the it factor, but the problem is he's going up against Mahomes, who does have the it factor as well, and who I'm a believer in. I got him as the number 1 QB in my playoff rankings.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I don't remember.
I'm a Mahomes dude.
That was the only we agreed on, huh?
Nah, you didn't have
I had
Mahomes.
Lamar.
No, you had Lamar 2.
I had Russell Wilson 1 there.
Oh, you had Breeze 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Breeze 1. I think you had Mahomes 3.
Yeah.
Wilson 4.
Yeah, because you had Brady, 3? Something nonsense like.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we ain't even going to talk about that, you Boston guy.
No, come on.
It's cool, man.
No. But I'm with you, dude. I think Kansas City Chiefs are just too overpowering. Yeah. And like I said, I like both these quarterbacks, but I don't think Watson's got enough help around him. That Texas defense is pretty ass. And the Bills
You're not
offense.
believing in J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless and all those guys?
I mean, they have missed J.J. Watt throughout the year, but I just think Kansas City's just way too overpowering. And their defense is solid enough to where the key to beating them would obviously be running on them. Mm-hmm. But I just don't see how the Texans are going to have enough patience to just keep plodding along, running. Because there's going to be scenarios where, all right, you only got 2 or 3 yards those first 2 downs, 3rd and 5. Now you're going to have to pass. Mm-hmm. And I could see how that's going to get frustrating if you do some of those 3 and outs. And then, like I said, the Chiefs versus the Texans defense, I feel like they're going to put a number on it. So Texans will have to keep with them if it's going to be like a shootout and passing it and Watson's going to have to ball out like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I see that happening in this game. On the road, Kansas City. And I think Mahomes I'm liking what's going on with him and the Chiefs this year, and for their case.
Okay.
Making it to the Super Bowl because they're kind of flying under the radar now. And the same talent is there from last year. It's just not the hype, even though they probably should have beat the Patriots last year, given a couple of those calls. But anyway,
yeah, man. They had opportunities.
They want revenge this year. They're flying under the radar. Mahomes is playing at an elite level. So for them, in terms of stride, you said it, hitting their stride at the right time. So watch out for that.
Okay. All right, and
we both got them there.
And then the Sunday night finale.
Got
the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. So for this one, I don't know how I feel about this, man. When I look at Green Bay, first off, their defense is playing out of control. I mean, shout out to Mike Patton. What he's doing as a defensive coordinator there has been phenomenal. Obviously, that's my old DC, so I got a personal connection. So I do like it a lot. I love their pass rushers, though, man. Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith, both of those guys. We talk about our pass rush tandem here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They are nasty.
They both had double digits, too.
Yeah, I mean, 13? It was, 13 and a half and 13. Yeah, they get after it, man. Both of those guys. So I'm very impressed with them in that regard. I do think that from a defensive standpoint, they will have the best unit out there. Now, granted, you hear about Bobby Wagner and Jadeveon Clowney. Those are big names, but overall, that unit for the Seahawks hasn't played nowhere near the level of the Packers defense. So I think that's a huge advantage for them. The quarterbacks are the interesting dynamic. Russell Wilson has been playing just crazy this year, right? Highly consistent, showing up, finding ways to get it done, gritty, scrappy, regardless of what the offensive talent around him may look like. Because DK Metcalf, some games he looks really good, some games he looks very average. So when you watch that, you see the one constant has been Russell. Whereas with Aaron Rodgers, you know he has the potential to go out there and throw for 500 yards.
He's
but
chilling
this year. He's been so up and down. I mean, he's still like on paper. You see his numbers and you're like, oh, they were still good numbers. Kind of the argument you made about Brady, right? Well, you look, he still had 4,000 passing yards. Okay, cool. But we know when we're watching the game what it looks like.
He's chilling this year, man.
I don't say he's chilling. I say he's been inconsistent. When you're inconsistent, you can make any excuse you want. Oh, he's chilling. Oh, he just got paid. Oh, he's at the spot. It doesn't matter. You're not playing good. So with that being the case, that's the only part of me that makes me a little worried. I'm hoping that because it's playoffs, because of the significance of the moment, he's a lot more locked in and plays a lot better. If he does that, I don't think this game is close. But if he's inconsistent, well, now I think the Seahawks do have the capabilities to hang around. I don't expect DK Metcalf to have a game like I had last week, but we all knew the Philadelphia Eagles, the weakest part of their defense, the weakest part of their team was their secondary. So it wasn't as big of a surprise seeing Metcalf do what he was doing because you knew they had inferior talent back there. That's not going to be the case for the Packers. So for me, unless the Packers are turning the ball over on offense, I don't really see how this game is going to be close in that regard.
I go back and forth with this one because I know the Packers defense is solid, but the way you could get them is just through running. But then the Seahawks don't have the same running that they've had because they got beast mode in there, which who knows? He's kind of got that playoff feel to him. He knows what he knows.
All I'm saying is
big time moments.
I love Beast Dog. I get not even Beast Dog, Beast Mode. I love him. Beast Dog is my other homie that I played at JMU with, and shout out to him. But when I watch Beast Mode, that's my dog. Love him. If it's not 5 in it from the red zone, I'm not worried about what he's doing right now. He retired at the right time. He's coming back now. It's the feel-good story. We ain't tripping on it, though. I already told you. Yeah, I'm going to get hyped anytime he does it. It's a 5-yard run. Yeah, all right, Beast Mode. I'm beating my chest. Just cuz. All right? But overall, that does not scare me.
No.
And I don't even know the other running back's name because it's not necessary to know his
Homer,
name.
I think.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not worried. That doesn't scare me at all. The only person in the offense that scares me is Russell Wilson in terms of him showing his escapability, which he does consistently. But that's the one thing that the Packers have done consistently this season in terms of not letting quarterbacks get out of it. When they got him, they got him. So for me, that's why I'm like, unless the Packers are turning the ball over, it's nothing the Seahawks have on offense that scares me.
No, yeah, except Russell Wilson. And somehow he always finds a way. And that is the only thing. Because given the fact that, the running game probably won't be there. Yeah. And who knows with the receivers, with the inconsistencies. Wilson just wills it. I don't know how the hell he does it, dude. Like, even if the Packers get up, it's happened in the past. And there's something too.
He's gonna find a way to make it close.
There's something to Wilson versus Rodgers too. They don't like each other. They definitely.
That's what I always hear, man.
No, are you serious?
No, that's what we hear. No. I don't know why though. I've never followed it.
Are you hearing it behind the scenes or
no? Like seriously,
in public?
That's what's always heard. But I was always like, I don't know why. I've never put enough interest into knowing the dynamic either.
Wait, do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I think it has something to do with, how Wilson is with him like praising God and saying like God's on our side and this and that. Rodgers doesn't like that. So he doesn't like how
is Rodgers atheist or
no, he just doesn't he just doesn't like the fact that Wilson thinks like God's on his side as opposed to
God being on his side.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
okay.
So like
Wilson, what you mean God only like you don't like me?
Yeah, exactly. Gotcha, okay. So Wilson will win these games or if he beats the Packers and then he'll say this. I mean, that pisses Rodgers off.
Okay. I know. Fair enough.
That's just one thing. I don't know if there's anything else, but there's.
Okay. Who do you think will win in a fight between Rodgers and Wilson?
I don't know, man.
Wilson kind of compact, but I think Wilson might get the biz to him.
I think he would. Yeah, I think.
I think he would.
I think if he gets mad enough, you're right.
Rodgers doesn't strike me as like I could fight type.
No, I don't think. I just don't think he would fight.
He just get knocked out.
I don't know. You're right. He just doesn't look like a fighter.
Yeah. Was Russell like, he might?
I know he's a big Lebowski fan. He does have some of that dude element to him where he's just like laid back. Yeah. He's more like philosophical, thoughtful about the world and stuff.
He's more like you.
I do like Rodgers. I'm a Rodgers guy.
Okay. Oddly enough, I'm a Rodgers guy too.
Whoa.
I'm serious. I'm not a Russell fan.
No, wow.
But we've already had this conversation.
No, I know that. Yeah. I know that, but I didn't know. I swear at the beginning of the year you were like, I don't know how big I am on Rodgers in terms of like fourth quarters and comebacks.
No, I didn't say that. No, I said when people praise Rodgers and say that he's one of the best ever, I said I'm not that high on him yet because I personally haven't seen him do it that often.
Got you.
We talk about when we speak of Rodgers, we can all go back to just 1 or 2 years where he lit it up, but there's so many other years where it's always an excuse as to why he's coming up short. Yeah. It's him and McCarthy. They have issues. It's the weapons that are around him.
The defense.
It's this. It's that. For me, I'm not a fan of all those excuses when I can see a guy like Brady, or we could talk about a guy like Ben, or we could talk about a guy like Drew Brees. And it's like, they've all had similar situations. They all might have had disputes with a coach. They've had years where they don't have the talent. They still find ways to get it done. So for me, that's why it's like, I don't know how high I am on him in that regard.
All-time status.
Right, in terms of all-time status. But in terms of, me being a Rodgers fan, like, no, I like to see him ball because when he's on, he can ball. I mean, in terms of throwing ability, he's the best quarterback I've ever seen in terms of what he can do with the ball. Brady can't do what he can do. Peyton can't do what he can do.
Mahomes might be challenged.
Mahomes is challenged, but Mahomes is a small sample size. That's why I'm always like, when people are ready to crown Mahomes, like, how many years have you seen Mahomes? Just think about it.
Listen, I'm with you. I was this way on Mahomes last year because I'm big on like, let me see it. Let me see a bigger sample size.
So you saw 2 years of it and now you're ready to crown him.
I know, I'm a believer now. I'm a believer in
My
Mahomes.
thing is this: you see 2 years and you're ready to crown him. So what happens if he falls off in year 3, 4, and 5? Then what? You take the crown away from him? I just don't see that happening. I'm just saying, if it does though.
He's not on that trajectory.
You don't know. That's what I'm saying. I know, Aaron. I've seen what he's done over however many years he's been in the league. I've seen it consistently. This is year 2 of us really seeing Mahomes, and he was injured for a large portion of this year. So that's all I'm saying. For me, before I'm ready to put a person in that category consistently, I need to see multiple years, multiple full seasons. Not, he played 16 games this year. He's 7 games this year.
He's top 5, top 3 right now for me. So we got to
already know how we feel in terms of quarterbacks anyways. We differ drastically.
We got to see, got to see the rest of his seasons play out to where, if we're talking all-time status.
So when I say all-time, when I'm talking all-time status, Aaron Rodgers' all-time status is one of the best I've ever seen or played against in terms of what they can do with a ball. Peyton Manning couldn't do it. I seen Peyton Manning. You saw him in Denver. No, I played Peyton Manning when he was in Indy as well, when he was lighting it up. Seen that. Seen Brady multiple times. Seen Ben as a teammate and as an opposition multiple times. I've never seen nobody do what Aaron can do. That's all I'm saying.
When he's on.
Yeah. I've seen it. I was just like, wow, there's no answer to that. I don't care what defense you're in. You cannot stop that. That's all I'm saying.
He did have some crazy runs.
I've seen Phillip Rivers. I've seen Drew Brees. You name them, I've seen them. Played against them. That's different. That's all I'm saying, man.
Oh, definitely. And that's what is hard for me with this game. I like both quarterbacks. I like just both teams, like their pedigree in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You know they can get it done. And I don't know which way I'm leaning. I think it's just a toss-up for me. I have no clue.
Like I said, I lean that way when I'm just thinking of it in just terms of who has the better personnel, who has the better team. But then for personal connections, all my personal connections are in Seattle. I'm like, dude, that's my dog. Oh, that's my boy. Oh, I like him. Yeah.
This is one of those games. It's just a toss-up game to me. And, man, I don't know. I really don't know. I'll go with you and I'll say Packers. Just home game, defense a little better.
So did the only game we differ on is Baltimore and Tennessee?
And that's not really.
No, yes it is. Yes it is. Because you said Baltimore is trash. So either way, we're good.
I didn't say that.
You did. Cool.
But we agree this week. Yeah. I guess our reasonings why are wide ranging.
Very different, but same outcome. So we're good, man.
So I'm excited for this weekend. And we got one more topic we wanted to talk about.
Got to talk the Hard Knocks, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers are officially available for NFL Hard Knocks. This is what happens when you go through 2 losing seasons or 2 seasons of not making the playoffs and you don't have a new head coach. You become qualified. And when you go down the list of other teams that are qualified, we're just assuming now because they haven't been selected by HBO, their TV series called Hard Knocks, where they'll follow a team around through training camp. This is for the people that don't know. They'll take a TV crew out there, follow the Steelers around through training camp day in and day out, document it, put it on TV once a week. Teams that have done it so far have been the Raiders, the Jets, the
Cowboys, Bengals, Browns a couple years
Dolphins,
ago.
And the Bengals done it a couple times too.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with it. Sometimes it has a negative connotation just because you get a lot of behind the scenes access, guys getting cut, arguments between players, coaches, anything like that is documented. So the teams that are available this year, Pittsburgh Steelers, the Jaguars,
Lions,
Broncos.
Did you say Jags?
I said the Jags already. Yep. The
Bucks, maybe.
Yes, but the Bucks were already on it as well.
Okay.
So they're not, they're available for it, but they've already done it. So they're not in the mandatory category.
Okay. So there's 5. There might be outside of the Bucks. There might be one more,
like
but
maybe is it the Giants? Maybe
I think it's irrelevant though. Well,
like,
they just got a new coach.
So yeah, they're out of it. Yeah. So literally, out of all the teams, you can make the argument for I think the argument was going to be the Broncos,
or Steelers, because they got a decent fan base.
The Cardinals, another one.
The Cardinals, you're right.
Yeah, and they were like, well, you can have the dynamic between Kingsbury and Kyler Murray, but there's literally
we know what people want to see, man.
Yeah, the storyline of the Steelers.
And I'll be straight up, I want to see it too, and I'm really looking forward to it if it happens. Most likely it will, because you got everything there. You got Big Ben coming back, Juju bounce back year,
all the storylines.
You got a lot, man. And then just in general, the Steeler fan base and being invested like that, and seeing Tom behind the scenes, like dude,
you think about
that'll be captivating.
You think about how many Steeler fans come out to training camp regardless of what's going on, just because they want to see that. I mean, the Steelers training camps are one of the most highly attended practices in the league. Like thousands upon thousands come out every year for training camp. Then on top of that, you think about it's going to be the anniversary of Coach Drake passing in that same place. How was all that dynamic play out for the coaches and for the players? It's a ton of stuff to talk about. Regardless of, even though Antonio Brown hasn't been on the team, that's still going to be a topic of discussion out there. And like you said, when you talked about Juju, James Conner, Ben, how's Ben developing? Is he back? Is he not?
Benny Snell's a personality.
Yes. And think about Zach Banner. He's another big personality. Yes. Then you have the guys on defense, the rising stars with TJ Watt. Potentially, if Bud Dupree is back, how all that dynamic plays out. Devin Bush, a young top 10 pick. So it's a ton of storylines, man. And the thing is, a lot of people I see on social media, I know you said it's like, oh man, everybody wants it to happen, but a lot of people I see say they don't want it because of the whole distraction, because of how in depth and behind the scenes it is, and how some people, they say, I mean, like when they said the curse of Hard Knocks, oh, any team that's done Hard Knocks doesn't make the playoffs. Well, it's not a curse. Because let's be real, the teams that make Hard Knocks, how do you make it? You got to be a bad team.
We just had an unlucky stretch here.
Yeah, you got to have 2 years of not making the playoffs, and you can't have a new head coach. So that means you got to be committed to this situation that you're in right now.
No, definitely. And that's a question I was going to have to you, because my assumption is on the day-to-day, the Hard Knocks being there in training camp, that really doesn't affect you at all, is what I'm assuming.
Okay.
The thing that would affect is HBO released an episode, and all of a sudden the players are answering questions about some type of story that HBO concocts for the episode, where there probably isn't too much weight to it, because I've heard players talk in the past, and I just know how it is with video editing. You can cut shit together where it's all out of timeline, and you make your own little story, your own little narrative to it. So I think that would be the most annoying thing or frustrating thing for the players, not necessarily the day-to-day, the work, the training camps, ins and outs. But I don't know. Do you have an opinion on that?
Well, I think I do have an opinion on that, actually.
I do. I figured you would.
Do you have an opinion on that? Nah, you got it, man. You said it all. I'm good. No, but in terms of the day-to-day, the reason why it's not an effect to the players, because you already have camera crews around every day. You already have camera crews in the locker room. You have them in the training room. When you're going into the cafeterias, people in there with cameras. When you're at practices, cameras there. Regardless of who the name on the side of the camera is, whether it's Steelers.com, whether it's the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, whether it's the Arthmos Experience with Deke podcast recording or something, you just never know. Like, seriously, like, that's how it is. So you're already accustomed to the camera crews being around you. And in terms of, oh, they might put something out there and edit it a different way or take something out of context. Isn't that what the media already does? Has that changed in any regard? Have you seen them take a tweet out of a whole series of tweets and they just take a line out of it and post it and say, oh, this is what Smith says? So that's no different.
Just a bigger scale, I guess. HBO, like Steelers are the focus. But
okay, but you're doing on ESPN
I'm not saying they're not going to be able to handle it. I definitely think they can.
I got you.
I want to see it.
Yeah, this is my thing. I'm just saying, like, in that regard, it really doesn't bother me. But I will say this. The misconception is this, that the Steelers don't have control of what gets put out there. Now they've adjusted the past 3 years where the coaches and the team have final say-so on what's out there. So, so that's why this year, for example, when the Raiders were dealing with AB, and remember it was the foot situation and he wasn't practicing, right? And people were mad because you watched the HBO documentary, HBO Hard Knocks, and there was nothing about AB up there. You'd be like, yo, where's AB? No one's talking about him, no issues, no nothing. And then a report would come out, oh, he has an issue with this. oh, he hasn't been showing up to that. And they're like, well, we're watching Hard Knocks. It's supposed to be documenting these things, but we're not getting this information until after the fact.
They would show little pieces of AB, but it would always be positive.
Right. But you would never know everything that was transpiring because the Raiders had the final say-so on what got put out there. So it's no different when if it were to come to Pittsburgh, they're going to have the final say-so in terms of how they want it put out there. So if there was an issue going on with anybody, if they don't want that stuff allowed, they're not going to have it out there. It's different than in the past where it was with, I think it was with the Jets when Rex Ryan is like cursing up a storm going nuts and they're just putting that raw footage out there. That's what made people initially love it. Or you saw Ocho Cinco going out there just talking smack to everybody. That's what made people love it. Now they've given those coaches and those organizations the ability to say, hey, we don't want that out there. We want this out there. Because you mean to tell me you don't think HBO would have loved to just done a full series on the AB issue that was going on in Oakland?
Would have been captivating.
Come on, man. They would have, so it would have been a lot more eyes checking that out versus the boring, hey, knock if you foot me. Knock if you foot me. All right, you like that right there? All right, there we go. Hey, man. Hey, knock it up. Yeah. So for me, that's another reason why I'm just kind of like, I don't think it has the same allure that it used to have. Because you're not going to get that type of details. I mean, you're still going to get the thing. I guess the thing that always bothered me with Hard Knocks is just how if you're getting released, that's a very unique time. Now, I've been fortunate. I never had to deal with that. But for some of the younger players who get released, it's a rough time for them because you spend your whole life trying to get here for a person to tell you you're not good enough. And the fact they're doing it, an intimate moment like that now is broadcast to the thousands or the millions. I talked to Rosie Nix. He was a guy who was one of the first people cut on Hard Knocks. He talked about how it crushed him and how people remember him as, oh, you the guy who got cut from the Falcons. Like, that's not fun. Imagine if we put a camera crew at your job when you're getting fired and we broadcast that to millions. You're going to be sick. So that's the only thing that I always had an issue with Hard Knocks. Is that portion of it. Anything else, cool, you document, cool. But when it's a situation like that, I feel like that's a violation of the privacy element.
That is tough because
fans love it. Fans love it. And I'm like, if the role was reversed, y'all would be ready. No, I don't want to make a light of it, but people would be in very dark situations after that.
Sometimes it is like cringy. Like you don't really want to see it, and it is tough. The only problem is that it is training camp, and that's like part of it. You know what I mean? Where they almost have to. If you're following a player, you're following. Is this guy going to make the team? Or
all I'm saying is this: it's different between documenting him saying, "Well, hey man, we've been watching him, we've been following him," and you see the aftermath of after he's been released, and them simply saying like "Y'all
just him walking out,
right?" Not you actually sitting in the meeting and having the actual conversation. He's finding out right when you're finding out. That's unacceptable for me.
Yeah, because I see both sides to it where that conversation isn't really that in depth or meaningful to see anyway.
But for that player, that's a defining.
No, that's what I mean. So
life.
it's like why show it? But at the same time, fans somehow like seeing that. I don't know how.
So think even how this is one of my biggest pet peeves with fans, how they cheer when it like if a guy were to get cut.
I can see it. I already got some. I'm
glad he got cut. Yeah, you suck. Like, but let them get cut. And people say, I'm glad you let them get fired. I'm glad you got fired. Oh my God, how could you say that? What about my family? What about my kids? Oh my God. Like, and it's always found that very unique of, oh, they can say one thing and do one thing, but if you flip it on them, now you've went too far. Now it's an issue.
Because I could already see Steeler fans doing that for certain players in this Hard Knocks right now. I can see it.
Yeah.
All in all, though, I would love it. I definitely think it's going to happen. It seems like Tomlin thinks it's going to happen too.
Yeah, because he knows he doesn't have a choice. It's not like the Steelers get to say, because the guy asked him, he was like, hey man, if HBO asked you to do it, or if NFL asked you to do Hard Knocks, would you be doing it? He was like, if they ask me, like laughing because you don't have a choice in that regard. When you put yourself in this position, the NFL picks and chooses who does Hard Knocks. And they go to the person that's going to be the biggest draw. And we know out of the 5 teams we named, the Steelers are the biggest draw far and away. They've been wanting the Steelers to do it. Even when the Steelers weren't even allowed to, they wanted the Steelers to do it. So now that they got them and all the characters are still here, come on, man.
What do you think? I was questioning this at my house. Do you think this would actually be a bigger season for the storylines and the must-see TV as opposed to whenever we were in the middle of like the Killer Bees?
What do you mean?
I feel like this season is more captivating in that way versus when we had Ben and the Killer Bees and our teams were going in the playoffs.
In terms of content for
HBO? Just in terms of everything that's going into this season. We're coming off 8-8 losing.
I think from a storyline standpoint.
Yeah, the uncertainties, whereas
I think that's,
with AB, Ben, and Bell, those were just always solid teams. You would get some cool stuff.
This is my thing. I think it's cool in the terms of you can try to paint a oh my God, are they going to rise back and make it an underdog story? But I think those teams, when we were like smashing teams, you're going to talk about, man, you have a top 5 player at quarterback, running back, and receiver. A number one offensive line unit. I think that would have been a huge storyline.
100%. I would have loved to see that too.
And now the conversation would solely run around, can this team win a Super Bowl? Right now, the conversation is, can this team get back to being good?
I think
it's a totally different dynamic.
Yeah, I think the uncertainty makes just a little bit more, puts a little more juice on it.
See, for me,
especially with Ben and the elbow coming back.
Yeah, but the thing is this: if he's not throwing in training camp, does it have the same effect?
No, he should be though.
Okay, but this is what I'm telling you: when he was healthy, he still wasn't out there throwing every day in training camp. Now you're telling me him coming off of a major injury, he's going to be out there throwing like that at training camp? No.
But you know they're going to show the footage we want to see.
But this is what I'm telling you. In terms of what would sell more, what would you want to watch more? I'm sure you want to watch more when you know we got this guy right here and they talking big junk to anybody else is out there. You would like that a lot more.
I would love that
versus I hope we can get back good. I hope. Oh, look at Ben. Oh, he threw it. Now they're going to show one where he's grimacing. And now you can be thinking like, come on now, you know they will. They're gonna show both sides to it because that you can't paint the underdog story, you can't paint the comeback story without showing the drama that's associated with it.
Man.
And then all it's gonna take is them to show the one time where he's like, yo, my elbow's a little tight. And you know Ben. We all know Ben is hey, he lives for the dramatics. He Paul Pierced us in Cincinnati. We took him out in the wheelchair, we thought it was over, and he came back like Jesus come back from the grave. You know he's into that. I seen my man spend a whole week not lifting his arm out of his shoulder, coming to a Saturday walkthrough, throwing the ball left-handed, and then comes out there versus Denver Broncos and lights them up. I said, I thought this man couldn't move his arm. He wouldn't budge. And then he came out there like nothing was wrong on Sunday. I've seen that. So you mean to tell me Ben with HBO cameras on him won't say, man, it's a little tight, man. I just got to ice it. I got to shut it down today. It's not feeling good. You don't think Ben would do that? That's all I'm saying, man. You know what? Maybe you know him better than I do. Maybe you know what? You followed him a lot more than me. Maybe you know him better than me.
No, you are bringing up the downsides of what I was talking about with the whole uncertainty.
Because they're gonna play into that. They're gonna play into that a lot.
I thought they would just show me everything I want to see.
Nah, they're gonna play.
Give me hype. Come on.
They're gonna play into it a lot because they gotta make it sell. And it doesn't sell if he's back. He's 100%. He's good. That doesn't sell. Nah, he's not gonna play in no preseason games. Maybe one. I mean, he played 17 snaps of a preseason game when he was completely healthy this year. So you mean to tell me he's going to play in a lot more this year? Coming up? Not a chance. Come on now. You know how this goes?
Wow, dude. I didn't, but you just laid it out to me. Yeah, I was seeing clearly just the positives.
Oh, man, it's the vision.
So you're right. Definitely different dynamics. I would have definitely appreciated the Ben, AB, and Bell years. No, I mean I didn't say that I wouldn't. I just felt like this one had a little more pull to it because of all the extra stuff.
But the reason,
now that I'm thinking the downsides,
because they're gonna show the Juju highlights of how he struggled last year. Can he return back to those glory years this year? If he drops a pass in practice, that's going to be out there because they're going to say, well, man, look, is he still
some
struggling?
Tapes of him playing video games.
I'm telling you. That's the part of Hard Knocks that's out there. That's going to be there.
Oh, man, dude.
You might not get the arguments. That's the stuff that the team can make sure that they edit and control in that regard, but they're going to have that other stuff there. Let's be real about it.
Yeah. Either way, I want to see it. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a blast.
It will be.
If it were to happen, because we're
just imagine for the podcast, too.
I ain't tripping, man.
Dude, that'd be a blast.
I'm not tripping.
It'd be a blast to talk about.
I'm not tripping.
Well, yeah, I think we're done for today.
That was, you know what? Because it is the Deke experience with Moats. So if you said we're done, dig it, we're done. All right. So Deke says that we're done talking to y'all, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. I don't want to get in trouble with Deke. All right. So appreciate y'all for tuning in to Deke's podcast. I'm his +1.
Nah, man. The podcast is how it's titled. That's how it is, man.
People
come from Moats.
Batman.
No.
I'm Alfred the Butler.
No,
all right.
come on.
I just serve it up, and you do what you want to do with it. All right.
No, you put it the best way the one time we were at the game. You're Batman. I'm Joker, actually. That's a good way to put it.
There we go. Anarchy. I love it.
Some people do roll with the Joker sometimes.
You're right, though.
Some people see him as the hero.
You're right. You never know, man.
But at the end of the day, the city burns. the city's going down the tubes. The truth is being left out with the Joker.
The city is burning. God.
Some people like that, though. I don't know.
You're right, bro. You're right.
Some people like Joker just burning a pyramid of money.
Just burn it. No one knows what we're doing. We don't have a plan. Like a dog just chasing the car. I know what I do when I'm actually caught one. Just out here. Yeah. I love it.
But yeah, hope everyone enjoyed it. The Arthur Moats experience with Deke. And until next time.
Peace.